Okay, let's get something new going. Banjo, oh god. Oh no. I knew this would come eventually. Let's get this out of the way. Ah, boy. So this is one of those last games that Rare made for Nintendo, just before Microsoft bought them out. Actually, I think they weren't really done with it by the time the buyout happened, and they just were allowed to just sort of package it and release it. So, you know, 2 months have passed since Gruntilda the Witch was defeated by Banjo and Kazooie. After falling from her tower, Gruntilda was buried underground, where she remains, waiting for her sisters to rescue her, until this very day. So this comes in between Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie, even though it was released. Bleh. That does not even come close to... Oh, it just carries on. Interesting. But, yeah, this came in between... It was released after Banjo-Tooie. I think it was like a year or two after Banjo-Tooie, or maybe right at the same time, I don't remember anymore, but, definitely in that time frame. And I don't know why, even though it came after Banjo-Tooie, they put it in the middle. So yep, there is our storyline. Her spirit possesses the robot. Actually, that did manage to actually properly sound like the N64 voice. So I guess it's a mix at this point. Some of the voices are good, some are pretty crap. Also, Mushroombo, evidently you've never played Banjo-Tooie. That is where her sisters are introduced. So yeah, we've thrown time travel into the mix of Banjo-Kazooie. Not really a thing you would have ever expected, and, yeah. And yeah, wow, these voices. We are now erring on the side of most of them are terrible. So here's the thing that is already just a slap in the face to, you know, anybody who enjoyed Banjo-Kazooie and Banjo-Tooie. In this game, well, let's take a step back. In Banjo-Kazooie, you play through, you learn a lot of moves, and it's all well and good. In Banjo-Tooie, you start out knowing those moves, and then you go around and you learn more moves, and it's all well and good. In this game, you start out being able to jump, and that is it. You can do nothing else. You can jump. You can't defend yourself in any way. You can't... Climbing ladders is a move which you learn. Just let that sink in. So, you know, I will 100% this, because I played this right when it came out, and I was able to get through it completely. I've not touched it since then. It was just, it's still, like, case in point here, we can't climb the vines because we haven't learned that move yet, even though it was a thing you could do in the first Banjo-Kazooie. But, yeah, there's a point I was trying to make, it is still, I guess, like, seen in a vacuum, it's not terribly bad. Like, it controls really well, the music is good, the stage design is not amazing, but it's also not terrible, and, you know, it still has the Banjo-Kazooie humor and charm. But, you know, overall, it's kind of more in the negatives column than it is in the positives, especially when you compare it to even Banjo-Tooie, no less to Banjo-Kazooie. It's just, you know they are capable of better than this. So this just feels lazy and pretty bad by comparison. I suppose we should do as he said and try and find the, Jinjo Oracle first, wherever that may be. Didn't really get a... it actually did not spell out exactly where the thing was, which is unusual for that kind of glimpse at what's to come. Later games in... especially Nintendo stuff, but you know, everywhere would show you exactly where to go and what to do to get to where you need to go. See, that's what I'm talking about. That's the kind of humor and charm you come to expect from anything in the Banjo-Kazooie series. Okay. Yeah, right. Did that already. Okay, I'm sorry, but they really should have, I know it's very iconic for the Banjo-Kazooie series, these voices that the characters all have, but for this Game Boy Advance version, they should not have used them. They should have just had them be silent or make little chirping noises like you'd hear in, like, Animal Crossing or something. Because that is just very, very ear-grating. Okay, so we have our first area. Oh. Oops. So again, in Banjo-Kazooie, you start off being able to just jump into any given water pond and swim. Not even pond, but, you know, any kind of water source whatsoever. But in this, we have to be taught how to swim because they thought it would be a good idea for you to have to relearn absolutely everything ever. Also, I will say, not really a knock against the game, but a lot of the Jiggies are quite a bit easier to acquire than in the other games. There's a lot less involved, but that's more just due to the fact that it is on a handheld thing, and they couldn't really make every single one of the Jiggies a big quest. So yeah, here we go, we are learning how to climb, like a ladder or a vine, yeah. Let's not do that quite yet, let's go ahead and explore around, because I'm sure there is stuff that... Well, I'm reasonably... Okay, good, there were a few things. Yeah. No real reason to talk to the Jinjo Oracle just yet. Okay, so I guess all we missed was one note. Can we go this way? Yes, we can. Cool. Oops. Oh, good to know there was quite a bit out here that I hadn't actually gotten to. Can we do anything with these apples, or... That's one thing where it's actually pretty hard to tell with this what is just, decoration and what is actually going to be used for things. So I guess there is some other... Oh, nope, maybe not. Like I said, just a lot of these are going to be very, very simple things. Got our first Jinjo. I guess the Jinjos in this area will all be orange. Sort of doing the thing like what was done in Banjo-Tooie with the different colors, even though not exactly. And I guess that's not a water source we can dive into. Is it more bubbles like these over here that he was talking about? Just kinda hoping to find another Jiggy down here, but that's okay. Can't expect them to all be handed to us on a silver platter. I love how Banjo knows the name, just inherently is familiar with the names of every person and every enemy and everything in the world. No introductions are needed, he just knows. Also, this whole find the baby chickens quest, this does feel very much like something you would find in any of the other, well, I guess I should say, well, no, I guess maybe even any of the other, because even in Nuts and Bolts you might find something like that. It's very much in the Banjo-Kazooie MO right there. Yes, actually, Spiffy, this very much does sound like the Underpants Gnome theme, now that you point that out. Actually sounds eerily like it. Maybe South Park will be needing to have some words with Rare at the time. Of course, I can't imagine the Matt and Trey being actually the type of people who would care about that kind of thing. Bathe in the sheep dip. What? I mean, I know in Space Station Silicon Valley there was a level where we had to fill a sheep dip pool so that the sheep could go swimming in a little pond, but is sheep dip a kind of thing over in England? Like, they just refer to baths for sheep or other water sources for sheep as sheep dips? Okay, this is gonna take some finicky timing. Hey, we can get multiples. Good to know. Okay, I was provided... Okay. A sheep dip is indeed a term for any sort of, thing with which, sheep are cleaned in. Good to know. Come on, then. Just try and get some sheep into the sheep dip now. Just stop trying to use the same exact timing over and over again and... Oh, I actually got it. There. Okay, somewhat gotten the, timing of all of this worked out now that we're nearly done. Okay, come on, one more has to wander on in these last couple seconds. There we go. Good, good, good. And yeah, for anybody that was not around for the beginning, Kazooie was stolen by Mecha Grunty and taken into the past, so now we are here in the past to try and, you know, get her back and restore things. And in doing so, we will find all of the music notes and jiggies and jinjos and everything else that we can. Nifty. Yeah, I gotta say that, perspective is going to be a major issue in this game. Being able to tell what is up, what is above, what is down, what you can manage to jump onto, and what is going to be an insurpassable wall. It's going to take a lot of trial and error in that method. Wasn't there a chick up here a moment ago? Also, good to know that there is no fall damage, I guess because of the weird dimensions of everything. Let me go in here. Now what's all this? Interesting. And what's up with this? Oh no, don't even tell me. I really hope that that is a move that we got, or will get, by going in that other direction that we started off in. Because if that getting smaller thing is in fact in a future stage and we have to backtrack and return here for those, then we'll basically be in Banjo-Tooie territory of, oh my god, why? Because that was a major problem with Banjo-Tooie, was just how you could not complete a single stage in a single sitting. Every single stage required you to exit and come back later with another ability or another character, another thing. And it just was to the point of absolute monotony and ridiculousness and just frustration, because it just took so many more hours to complete that game. So I get the feeling that there's something else. Oh, nope. I guess not. Okay. And hey, we got a Mumbo token. And that's that, actually. Don't know why I was trying to avoid all of the enemies up to that point. Very well could have been, you know, attacking a lot of them. Okay, let's... Alright, here's a place we have not yet gone to. Oh, okay. Also, that is now the third Jiggy that we've just found sitting there, just kinda there, not guarded by anything, not, held by anyone as, you know, a thing that we had to do a fetch quest or a task for, just kinda there. And I am positive that that will not be the last one of those of that kind either. And now the question becomes, where the heck is that hen? There she is, okay. Okay, so let's head back the way we came, since it seemed to be basically everything in that direction. Let's try and work our way back. Yeah, what? Yeah, so much for getting a honeycomb bug. Even if okay, so one little slight difference there. In Banjo-Kazooie, you were told about honeycombs the first time you picked one up, but 99% positive that in Banjo-Kazooie, the first time you pick a honeycomb up, you can still walk around and, you know, do stuff while that explanation is being given to you. It doesn't pause the game in order to, you know, tell you about the thing you just picked up. And of course the key difference in there is really good way of doing it versus bad way of doing it. Yeah, let's... another mother hen. 12 eggs, jeez. Okay. Now we're getting close to having all of the, let's see. Cool. Wasn't really certain if that was gonna work out or not. Glad that it did. And that's the area where we just were, yes. Let's go ahead and... Oh, this is interesting. I was expecting like a Mario 64 viewpoint of being behind you. This is actually cool. I completely forgot about this kind of stuff. And there we go. Now the question is, where are we going to come out of that? Oh, at the stage start. Interesting. Would not have... Well, not even at the stage start, just below there. I see now. Okay. Thought that was the stage start, but it was not. Alright, 2 more jiggies for the stage. No, can't interact with him again. What else is there in this stage? Where have we not gone? Obviously we have another Jinjo to find, just the one. So that'll be one of the jiggies. Already been down in that underwater area. There's our stage entrance. Don't know how I got those two things confused. Was there anything over... No, nothing over there. Really hoping that VGMaps.com will have maps for this game, because I'd really much prefer to follow a map for this kind of game than following text in a walkthrough at Game FAQs. Just figure that'd be much nicer to be able to see where things are instead of just going by an all-text walkthrough. Okay, so that's just these sheep over here with nothing else. Oh. Oh. Well, that's interesting. Wasn't expecting it to be that kind of honeycomb. Alright, so there's obviously more stuff up here in Farm Heights that we did not yet find. Just a matter of exploring every single nook and cranny until we've gotten all of the notes. Figured out where that final remaining... Oh, hello. Mumbo's hut. Or Mumbo's pad, excuse me. Sure, what are we gonna turn into? And will it involve us playing Simon? Oh, cool. We get a kind of thing like that. Kind of reminiscent of DK64 in that method. So now we are small, so hooray! We don't have to come back after getting a thing from a later stage. We can get these right the heck now. That is an amazingly good thing that already boosts this game up, in my opinion. And I already do forget, I know there is another one of those spots somewhere that had a little, you know, thingamajig of a small hole that we were not able to enter. Was it here? Yes, it was here. Excellent. Fantastic. And there we go. All 100 notes. Fantastic. Seems like we should be able to do something with... Oh, there we go. And that would be that. Now we can just head on back. Get transmogrified back into the bear. Just as soon as we find Mumbo again. Where the heck did you go, Mumbo? Ah, there we go. Okay, so that will take us to, being done with this stage. And I think there's something like either 7 or 8 of these worlds. I know it's a couple less than there are usually in these Banjo-Kazooie games, because again, Game Boy Advance, you can only store so much in that little cartridge. But once we are finished with this here, we will go ahead and take a break and return to it later, because I'm not going to 100% this in a single sitting. So yeah, there is that, fully completed. And from here, I do believe there was a, let's go ahead and chat with Jiggy Wiggy and see what he has to say. Seriously, I just should have avoided using the voices, or maybe just somebody in the chat suggested, like, have them beep 1 or 2 things and have that be it. Okay, so... and that is about where we will leave off. Just wanna sort of head over there if I can find my way over. I guess we just gotta head all the way back and around. Get way on over here. Okay, there it is. Climb the vines. And that'll take us to Breagle Beach. Let's just explore all the other nonsense. Oh, there really is no other nonsense. So yes, we will get some ability in there, which will give us a way to get to another stage, and so on and so forth in that manner. So yeah, I will be returning to this later on to fully complete Banjo-Kazooie Grunty's Revenge, since again, it is pretty good.